Chinese tourer motorcycles are coming, but do Harley Davidson even care? Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're all well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. So, Chinese motorcycle manufacturers, we know that they've been producing better motorcycles year on year. And also they've been producing motorcycles with bigger engines year on year. We also know that they've sort of cloned some Harley Davidson models as well. And they're kind of bringing out the new Chinese version of the Sportster that looks remarkably similar as well. But now we know they're also pushing into the classic American tourer motorcycle style as well. Now, they've been doing this for about 2 or 3 years. Most of their manufactured bikes have only been for the Chinese market, but now they're trying to produce motorcycles that they can export or make available to European markets, let's say, and other markets. Now, would they ever sell in the United States and Canada? I doubt very much, but it certainly means that they could possibly make a dent in the market where Harley Davidsons might normally be sold. Now, we've had offerings from Chinese motorcycle manufacturers over the last couple of years, and they were always in the region of about 300cc, 400cc, 500cc motorcycles. Now it seems that they're producing 800, 900, even 1000cc motorcycles in a tourer style. And then you've got to wonder, well, the Harley Davidson and the likes of Indian and, yeah, throw in Triumph and BMW, do they even care? Are they concerned? Should they be concerned? Are these kinds of motorcycles, are they going to be the kinds of bikes that you want? The problem here has always been, if you want a Harley Davidson, for example, you go and buy a Harley Davidson. If you want something slightly different, you go for an Indian, but essentially it's a like for like type thing. If you want to step out the mold just a little bit, now you probably go for a BMW R18. If you want something a little bit more modern, let's say modern looking, then you could either go to BMW with the RT, which is oldish but new stylings, or the K1600. Yes, you could also go to Honda for the Honda Goldwi. So there's movement there, but they're still quite expensive motorcycles, no doubt. But you could have a certain style of the American style, or you could go for, let's say, a more European style as well. Or for that matter, a Japanese offering, which has got lots of pedigree. But then you start throwing a Chinese brand or a Chinese offering into the mix. Well, whose heads are you really going to turn? If you're a fan of an American touring motorcycle, Harley Davidson Indian, for example, are you really likely to go and look at a Chinese 800cc, 900cc motorcycle that kind of looks a cross between a road glide and a street glide and a bit of everything and a bit of plastic thrown on? Are you really going to do that? My guess is no. So from that point of view, Harley Davidson and the likes don't really have to be concerned. What about in the European market? Possibly they might sell the odd one. I think the Chinese manufacturers would have a lot more success selling the Chinese Sportster, as it were, than any kind of touring offering. But we're not really talking about the sales of today. We're kind of talking about the sales of tomorrow. What kind of price point are they going to come in? And how will they be perceived in the coming years? So this is exactly the same what happened in the 60s in the UK with British motorcycle manufacturers and the Japanese imports. They were perceived to be the cheap imports, but they just got better and better and better until there was no more British motorcycle industry anymore, because everybody started shifting over to the European brands, but certainly Japanese brands. This could be exactly the same, and we've kind of been talking about this the last few years. Watch out for the Chinese brands, because they could just be getting bigger and bigger and better at producing motorcycles that people will not only revere, but also they'll just want to buy at a much cheaper price. So if you're a fan of an existing brand, Harley Davidson, Indian, BMW, let's say, I don't think you've got anything to worry about, because that's what you're going to want to buy. And if you see there's a cheaper alternative, you kind of go, okay, that's interesting. Or no, definitely not, because it's, it's poor quality. Whatever your view is, you're unlikely to go to it. However, a person who is not so heavily invested in the tourer brand or type of motorcycle that you currently ride or the model that you ride, they may have their heads turned. They may think, well, I'm coming from a particular motorcycle that is relatively a cheap motorcycle, a budget motorcycle. I want to do some touring. I don't want to spend 30 or 40,000 pounds, dollars, shekels on it, but there's one here for 10,000, 15,000 that actually would do exactly what I need it to do. Yeah, I'm going to go and buy that. That's where the problem is. The problem is any of these cheaper offerings from these Chinese motorcycle manufacturers, they could really start chipping away at the traditional market, let's say, at the marketplace. I don't think the American domestic marketplace is under threat. Certainly think other markets around the world could be under threat as well. But the Chinese motorcycle manufacturers, they've worked with European design houses for quite a few years now as well. The latest one from MIT, Traveler, the 808, that's been publicized in various publications this last week as well. That could be the one that starts to make a dent. I doubt it, not in great numbers, but it could be the one that that opens the door for other bikes to come through and start turning heads. Chinese tourers are coming, whether it's this MIT 808 Traveler, whether it's a Chinese version of a Honda Goldwing, whether it's something that is a pure clone of a Harley Davidson or an Indian, they're coming. It's whether you're likely to go and buy them. That's another question entirely. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. And I'll catch you again. Bye now.
RevelatorAlf.